You asked, I listened. You've written to me over the last year plus and made various suggestions for fragrances you thought I would like or something complementary to a theme I was talking about. And over the course of the last year, approximately, I have acquired these fragrances in whole or in part. And I'm going to talk about them right now. In advance, thank you for these suggestions. They mean the world. Welcome back to the Scent Advocate. Let's start out with a fragrance from Born to Stand Out. It's Filthy Musk. Now, I'm not going to call out the commenters by name because you may not want to be called out, but I will be smelling this fragrance for the very first time on video with all of you. I did smell it on a test trip before, but this is my first impression. It just arrived this evening, and I was so motivated by the fact that this one came in and another one came in. I just had to make the video. So here we go. This is great. This is absolutely wonderful. This is a beautiful, I think, universally likable fragrance. Okay, so I don't have anything from Born to Stand Out in my collection. Nothing. Maybe a sample here or there, but I don't have any full bottles. For whatever reason, I just never bought anything from this house. And someone coincidentally very recently suggested that I try Filthy Musk. And I think I was talking about Marlowe and fragrances that I've tried, or I have a full bottle from Marlowe, and those have some, they're not for everyone. I adore what I have, and I adore a few others. I just haven't gotten full bottles yet, but the idea was, these are something you want to test before you actually go full bottle, in my humble opinion. And so this came up, and filthy, right? You're thinking that maybe, barnyard, funky, lots of cumin. No way. This is gorgeous. I love it. Maybe the whole filthy thing is you want to get filthy after spraying this on because it is sexy stuff. Wow. What do you guys think? Have you guys tried this? I don't know. This is my first time. Wow, I love it. It's musk. It's comforting. It's got a carbohydrate note to it, like a breadiness. Maybe a very faint flower in the background. Some nice dry wood. It's a little powdery. Not a whole lot, but it's definitely not wet like you might think from, a filthy fragrance. No. This is gorgeous. I think this is universally likable. I can't imagine anyone not liking this. Beautiful stuff. Thank you. You know who you are. Thank you for making this suggestion. This is going on the wish list for sure. Thank you. Born to Stand Out, Filthy Musk. I love it. Next, I have Coriandre. I think it's Coriandre, but it's spelled D-R-E at the end, and it is by Jean Couturier. I am probably butchering it. It is an eau de toilette. This came up more than a year ago, maybe 2 years ago, from a suggestion. I was probably talking about herbal or green fragrances, and this one I'd never heard of before. It is vintage. I love the bottle, by the way. So this is plastic at the top, but it's got like this marbling on it. It almost looks ceramic. It's beautiful, but it's pretty heavy gauge, and I adore it. I'm not sure how many mils this is, but it feels like about 75 mil at least, maybe 100. Yeah, this is beautiful. This is a beautiful, fresh green. It's not crisp. It's a soft green. It's a beautiful, soft, it makes me think of clovers. I don't like cilantro at all. And coriander and cilantro are related. And for some reason, coriander is great. I never mind coriander, but cilantro, I just don't like. There's something, in fact, genetic about me. If you've ever done, a certain genetic test that you used to be able to get sent to your house, you'd spit in a tube and it tells you all this crazy stuff about yourself. What I learned is I have a genetic predisposition to not like cilantro. So I don't know why I adore coriander. Maybe it's a thing. Maybe if, you have this genetic predisposition to hate cilantro, it means you're cool with coriander. I don't know, but I think coriander is the seed. This is gorgeous. It's a very subtle, beautiful, green, soft springtime. There's a coziness to it. It makes me think of chamomile tea and Peter Rabbit. Remember in the fairy tale, maybe it's not a fairy tale, the children's story about Peter Rabbit, and he gets sick. He goes out and he's like stealing all these carrots from the farmer, and he gets sick from being out running around, and his mom gives him chamomile tea, and you get like this impression of herbs and greenness, and maybe there is a little carrot seed in this. I'm not sure. Are carrots related to coriander? Potentially. Maybe that's the, connection I'm making to all this, but it's not a bitter green. It's not a sharp green. It's a beautiful, soft, maybe like a bluebell in a field green or a lily of the valley fragrance. It's lovely. This is a classic. I just can't imagine why everyone in the universe isn't talking about this. Maybe they are and I'm just missing it. Gorgeous stuff. Coriandre by Jean Couturier. Oh my God, I just do not speak French. There you go. Great stuff though. Amazing price point. Moving on. We've got Sandflowers by Montage Paris. This is 100 ml. And it is an EDP, and this was also suggested to me. I love these containers. It comes with a little stopper. You just pull it off. Isn't that cool? And it stops it from pressing down. And it's got a little doohickey thing here. It's adorable. All right. This was recommended to me at least a year and a half ago. And about a year ago, I got the fragrance. I think I was talking about warm fragrances. And this does not disappoint. By the way, Filthy Musk is unisex. Coriandre is unisex. This is also unisex. This is a clean, warm fragrance. This is one of the best skin scents I've ever experienced, okay? This is exactly what I want to smell like when I come out of the shower everywhere. This is incredible. You know who you are, who suggested it. You're a genius, and I am grateful. And that is why I got a full bottle. Whoa. And by the way, I want you to know, if you're watching, I took you at your word. This was a blind buy. So was Coriandre. There were no samples for this. Lovely. There's a softness, a beautiful cashmere with a very faint floral, almost like a baby's breath. It's so wonderful. This is what you want to smell first thing in the morning when you wake up and the last thing at night when you go to sleep. This is comfort in a bottle. And honestly, I don't know why everybody isn't talking about this. This is amazing stuff. This is one of the best skin scents I've ever smelled. It is gorgeous. Now, I We'll say, there's a faint rice note here, by the way, and I'm a huge fan of rice fragrances. And if you are too, this is a really nice one. It is not a glutinous rice. So imagine a jasmine rice that comes fresh out of a bag. You haven't like washed the starch off of it or anything yet. It's still dry. That's this. Oh, gorgeous. Beautiful, beautiful. Oh, this is incredible. What a find. In my experience, I have worn this. I haven't worn it in a while. It sits close to the skin. This is probably going to be my scent of the day tomorrow. Gorgeous stuff, Montage Sandflowers Eau de Parfum. Gorgeous. Moving on. The one I got today, in addition to the sample of Born to Stand Out, Filthy Musk. Yes, I pulled the trigger. I talked about riding the fence on getting a full bottle, but I did it. Another 13 by Labo. I've said before, I don't care what anyone says. I love Labo fragrances. They just work for me. I'm not saying every single one, but my gosh, the ones that work really well. This is 100 ml, and it's an eau de parfum. It's beautiful. I sprayed this. What am I doing with the tester? I sprayed it on my wrist, and it's incredible. So what is it? It's a molecular musky ambrette, in my opinion. You who commented to me that I miscategorized, misdescribed, you were spot the hell on. I did. I hope I got it right this time with the molecular. It is. It's molecular meets ambrette meets that kind of skin scent, musky thing. And by the way, I also, this week, because I got these together, I said, what the hell? I got an Ambrette 9. So fun. Let's try Ambrette versus another 13, because Ambrette has Ambrette in it. I've been fiending after this one. This one I was on the fence with a couple of videos back. I said, I haven't pulled the trigger on these Labos yet, and I think I talked about both of these. And they share a note, and it's the Ambrette. Certainly with another 13, it's more than linear. With Ambrette, it's a little bit more linear in Ambrette primarily. What Labo does really well is it takes a linear fragrance and bolsters it. It adds supporting notes that really bring out the fundamentals of the note in the name of the fragrance. And I think that's, Ambrette 9 is a great example of that. Another 13, it's that molecular Ambrette meets a little bit of a musk. But the funny thing is the Ambrette is supposed to be the musk. So there's something else going on. There's more to it. It's more complex. I wouldn't say there's more depth, because the Ambrette is so rich and almost buttery and heavier than another 13, but I think they're different enough to have both in my collection. Very, very beautiful stuff. Like I said, I love this house. The ones that work for me really, really work for me. And I have my eye on a few others. We'll see where they go. But I'm really glad I purchased both. Another 13 was a suggestion from one of you, and I am so grateful. You made a simple enough comment, but it's had me thinking. And it made me move forward after years testing this fragrance, years plural. I finally did it. Okay. The next one was a passive suggestion, and I've had this in my collection for a while. I don't know if you could see. This is about 2/3 full. I tested the absolute heck out of this. I got a large tester. I was attracted to the notes years ago. This is Rima XI, and it's by Coriandre Barcelona. And this is an eau de parfum, and it is, let's see, maybe 50 ml. Okay. I fell in love with this. I did not need to be sold on this one. Let me just adjust this light. There we go. Did not need to be sold on this one. I've had this for a while, but I thought I'd talk about it because it was a suggestion and I could not agree more. I got this one before we moved back to New York from Utah. Oh, it's so beautiful. It's so bright and happy and positive, and it's one of those fragrances that I struggle to describe because it creates, the combination of the notes creates its own experience. I don't know about you, but I haven't smelled anything quite like this. There's a faint hint of banana in here. So it's a yellow floral and a very faint resin, maybe a benzoin, or I suppose it could be tonka or vanilla. But it's a yellow floral, and I love yellow florals, even though I hate florals as a rule. Yellow florals, that ylang-ylang, oh. And there's a warmth in here, again, a glutinous or carbohydrate note. What else am I smelling? I should have written down the notes, but, I really feel like that's cheating. Every time I do it, I feel like I just like, I'm cheating. This is stunning. It is also event worthy. So some fragrances that I've experienced in my life, I deliberately lined up with significant experiences, right? So then every time after that experience that I smelled the fragrance, it would take me back to what I knew in advance would be a positive experience. Thank goodness every time I was right. So, a wedding or, a special holiday or something like that, I made sure that I had, a fragrance that I hadn't worn much before, or maybe a new fragrance. And then every time after that I smelled it, it just took me right back to that really wonderful life's experience. And that is what happened with Coriandre Barcelona's Rima XI. Lovely. Lovely, lovely. Warm weather, leans feminine. And when this runs out, I find myself, once I make a dent, I find myself using the fragrance sparingly, and I hate that about myself. What I should be doing is replacing these, using them up and replacing them rather than holding back. And I have held back on this because I love it so much. I also had a really big tester. So I went through the tester, probably more than one tester, and then settled into the bottle. But this is just lovely. Beautiful, rich, thick, heavy, tropical, but not suntan lotion or coconut or anything like that. Oh, gorgeous, gorgeous stuff. Beautiful. Have you tried Rima XI? So those of you who left me comments, these are the fragrances you talked to me about. If anyone else wants to leave me comments, I would be most grateful. And if you make suggestions, I will try to get my hands on them and comment on them for you. If you are not yet a subscriber and you like hearing about niche or indie fragrances, once in a while I will talk, like yesterday, about designer brand fragrances. I don't do it too often because I don't have a whole lot in my collection, with the exception of Tom Ford. But if this subject matter interests you, please consider subscribing. I'm trying to grow the channel. And if you like the video, please give me a like. I'll see you in the next one. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.